Welcome back to ZenTV. I'm your host, Britt Madrid-Mogensen, and this is our season 6 finale. We are going to be ending this season on a high note with 3 amazing guests. So first we have Patricia San Pedro here. She is the author of the book Face Fitness, and she's also the founder of Sunina Skin. She is an expert when it comes to all things gua sha and natural lifting techniques without the Botox and the needles and all those things. So Patricia is going to show us a quick ritual that you can do right before you put on your makeup, or men before you head out the door. And it's going to help you to drain all that puffiness and get your face nice and snatched for those holiday photos. So you will not want to miss that. Then we have Anna Grace Newell here. Anna Grace is a former celebrity stylist turned spiritual teacher, and she has a new podcast out called AG University. This podcast debuted at the top of the charts, and she has so many great things to share. Anna Grace talks about a near-death experience that she had that led to a spiritual awakening, and she's going to share what she learned about how to get in touch with your deeper purpose and to experience more joy on a daily basis, which I think is something that we all need to start prioritizing more of. So Anna Grace is going to help us think of ways to do that. Then we have Matthew Alson Thornberry here. Matthew is the man behind the critically acclaimed film Blue Moon. He's also the editor of this show, and he is amazing. This film, not only did he write, star in, executive produce, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, he did everything to bring this story to life. And it's a story that's very close to his heart. This is a film about what happens when someone experiences grief. It's a very powerful story, and personally, I really connected to it. It helped me to process some of my grief. So if you're someone who's been going through grief or wants to delve a little bit deeper into that healing journey, this is, first of all, a film that I highly recommend you watch. It's on Amazon Prime. And definitely stick around for that interview with Matthew. It really uplifted and helped me to heal personally. I hope it does the same for you. Okay, without further ado, let's get to these 3 amazing guests. Well, today we have Patricia San Pedro on the show. Patricia is the author of Face Fitness and the founder of Sunina Skin. She creates simple exercises and rituals to give you toned, glowing skin. And she also has some great affirmations, and she helps people do inner work as well. Patricia, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Britt. I'm very excited.
Well, you are such a wealth of information, mind, body, and soul. So I'm just so excited to really pick your brain about how people can get more in touch with their inner glow and get their faces, of course, looking and feeling their best. So will you tell everybody about how you got started? Because your mission is so powerful, and so is your story.
Yes, of course. So I got started in fitness, actually. Even before that, I was in the fashion industry, and I just wasn't very happy with my kind of behind the scenes job. And, I worked in a really beautiful high fashion agency, but it just wasn't for me. And I was always interested in my time after work or my lunch break, going to the sauna or the gym or doing something active for not just my body and for like looking my best. It was more about, my internal world. Like my internal world wasn't feeling great. And I was always seeking those measures to get better inside. The more and more I explored, the more I realized I wanted to be in movement. I wanted to be more in the space of influencing others to feel good. But it all started with me. So I was able to start out by going to yoga teacher training, getting certified as a yoga teacher, and then afterwards teaching at SLT, which is a Megaformer studio in New York City. And I spent a lot of my hours and many years just teaching the Megaformer fitness workout. And at the same time, really encouraging other women to feel good, look good, slim their waist down. But at the end of the day, at every end of the class, I would always come back in and breathe with the entire class. And it was all about connecting with yourself.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And a quote from your book about your mission, I have to share this. You said, as I learned through my own explorations, I had to find peace, happiness, and fulfillment on the inside before I could love who I was on the outside. Beauty is a feeling. Let's tap into that together.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that. I think we can all relate to that. And there have all been different times in our lives, where we've maybe felt our best or we haven't felt good about ourselves, physically. And that
Right.
does impact our spirit. So you are going to show us a quick tutorial, something that we can do. Like, everyone's going to holiday parties. So if you're
Yeah.
about to go to your holiday party and you want your face to feel a little bit lifted, nice and tight for your photos, and you just want to feel your best, you're going to show us some moves that we can do at home, which is fantastic.
Yes, amazing. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my sleeves for this. We are going to use our favorite facial oil, and you're going to you want to heat up your hands and then just dab everywhere that you're going to go. And the best place to start is always your neck. So I'm just going to do a few neck moves here and then grab behind my neck. This is move number 2. See how easy and quick it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to inhale and exhale. And we're going to go right into, just do like a quick full face. So bend the fingers, bring it to the chin, and then lift up all the way up to the temples. And then back again here, lift and up. Now we're going to go into smile lines, and we'll just do one of these where we're flicking. So the idea is to just flick and wake up the face. Sometimes you see people like slapping their faces, especially in K-beauty, right? We'll get into that. That's a really great way to wake up the skin, collagen production, and all of that. So we're going to go into something I call jumping cheeks. Mm-hmm. And cheek push-ups. And then the other side. So you get like a really quick, natural glow, especially before photos. And the other side. And then under eye circles, I'd like to use my 4th fingers and just up and out, and then go around. So we're going up and out and around, breathing in, exhale, breathing out. My friends are aligned with my higher self, breathing in and breathing out. We just talked about gift giving with friends.
Yes,
and then upwards this way for the forehead. And then something that's really easy to do anywhere, anytime, with your toner, without your toner, with an oil, without an oil, is just tap all around the face. And this will get your blood circulation going and moving. It's really a nice one. And then for the extra glow, you can pinch our cheeks. So you're going to make a heart shape and just pinch, and lift upwards. So my thumbs are lifting upwards as I'm holding the top of my cheeks. And this will just also gently grab any tension here as I feel crackling under my chin right now. And then right here also. And it just feels really nice to let go of all of that tension. Mm-hmm. Just go all along the cheeks. Oh my God, that just felt good.
Nice. And look at you glowing. You have like a rose. It looks like you just put blush on.
Yeah. It gives you a, temporarily natural blush.
Natural blush.
Really great. It lasts for as long as you, about to take a photo. Do it before your event and you'll be glowing.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Patricia. You are beautiful inside and out. Thank you for giving us your tips. It's been so much fun to learn from you.
Oh, thank you so much. You were so lovely, Britt. Thank you so much.
Well, and where can everybody follow you before you go? I know on Instagram, and you have TikTok. Give us all the places.
Yes, so it's Patricia San Pedro _ for TikTok and IG, and Sunina Skin on TikTok and IG for the business page.
Perfect. Well, we'll be following along.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the full interview, just check out the Be Zen with Britt podcast. Anna Grace, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be back.
Oh,
Last time I was here, I think we were talking about human design, and now we have a whole nother slew of information.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well, and I feel like you've been growing so much. Will you tell everybody about what you do, your podcast that, by the way, it topped the charts upon its premiere? Share all the things. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Thanks for having me back. I am an intuitive guide, clairvoyant, medium, and Akashic Records practitioner, energy reader, all the things. And I started privately seeing clients doing readings, and actually did a reading for Britt. I read her Akashic Records, so we can talk about that too. But so for years, it was kind of just this like secret word of mouth thing that I did. Like a friend of a friend would be like, "Oh, Anna Grace needs to do a reading for you." But I was scared to just throw it out on Instagram because it is a little bit, it's spiritual and maybe not for everyone. And I had built an audience just based off fashion. Well, moved to Florida. I live in Jacksonville, Ponte Vedra. And I decided I live somewhere new. I wanted to start a podcast because that would be a great way to connect with people, maybe build a community in a new city because I really didn't know anyone. It was totally a selfish, like, I can interview people, get to know them, and share. I'm going to share my Akashic Records and my energy reading practice. And I shared my first story, which is how I got here. I actually had a near-death experience. I talk about how I was the least spiritual person on the planet, and overnight I became the most spiritual person on the planet. Like, my family was like, "What happened to you?"
Well, I feel like when you're done with your intro, we have to talk about that.
Yes.
It's a very impactful story.
Yes. So we'll totally go there. So I shared my practice, and I started having a wait list about a year ago of people wanting to see me. I really hadn't even told anyone. And I launched the podcast, shared the near-death experience, and immediately the podcast went #1 in spirituality on Apple Podcasts. So, and it was crazy because, this is a good example, you guys. For years, I was too scared to share the story, and then immediately put it out and it charted. That was just such confirmation from the universe that I was doing what I was supposed to be doing and sharing what I was supposed to be sharing. And, for years I was scared people were going to make fun of me or whatever. And when I moved to Florida, I just said, okay, this is me. This is who I am.
I love it. Yes. Like it's like your coming out party. It's like, this is who you really are. And you're just shining and you're really changing people's lives and giving people hope. I know. So when you did the reading for me, it was about a year ago.
Yeah.
And I had just been through such a tough time. Like, my father had passed away. I was thinking of moving to Kansas City, which I live in Kansas City now. So like, so much has changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, just complete whatever. And you gave me so much comfort, so much peace, so much hope. You connected me with my dad.
Yeah.
Like, so I have experienced your mediumship firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me things that I needed to hear to like move on, to be at peace, because I was really, really struggling, like truly. And I feel like the universe brought you into my life at just the most perfect time. And I know that you are doing that for so many people now with AG University, your podcast, and with like your courses and everything. You're just giving people the tools to connect to their highest selves. And it's amazing. I love it. I'm obsessed.
Thank you. Well, and thank you for that beautiful message about your reading too, because I feel like the mediumship piece, it's when people they need more clarity or certainty or closure. And that's when it can be such a beautiful gift, because I find a lot of people think the word like medium is scary or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's just sometimes it's exactly what you need to hear. So
yeah. Well, will you explain to everybody like your near-death experience story and then how you do your readings, like how you access the Akashic Records and how you do end up connecting with, people who have crossed over?
Yeah, totally.
So exciting.
So let's see where to begin. Okay. Do you want to start with the near-death experience?
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Well, and people can hear all this on your podcast also. AG University to really hear the full thing. So yeah, you can give us like the Cliffs notes and then people listen to the full thing over there.
Yes. So it's the first episode of my podcast that I launched, AG University, if you guys want the full in-depth story of the near-death experience. So I'll give you the highlights, but if you're like, I need more, you can check it out there. But essentially—
You need more, trust me.
Yeah. Thank you. So essentially I was this was like the transitional point of your life, 25 to 26 year range. And I think I was just so far off track with where I was supposed to be on my path. The universe needed to kind of throat punch me and get me back to where I needed to be, which is where I am. So I was, I was really, really in the depths of struggling with an eating disorder, and I was overprescribed Adderall and Vyvanse. I was just taking too much for my frame, and there was so much negative, toxic thought cycles happening. I think I was just at that point, I would say was the lowest point of where I was mentally. And I don't even really know if people knew, but yeah. So I was 25 years old. I had a heart attack, and that's what the doctors say. I will say that I think it's, who knows really what happened, because it was something so much greater than me. And that might just be an easy way to medically claim it. But I was literally vacuum sucked out of my body, and I saw myself, I was hovering over my body, and I was on an airplane. You guys got to listen to the whole story, because it's
the worst place to like have some sort of experience like this.
Literally
sheer panic.
Terrifying, and just humiliating. Everyone on the plane is like, what?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God.
No, not to make a spectacle, but okay, here we are.
Not to make a scene. Yeah. So I have this crazy experience. I'm sucked out of my body. And I had this at first I went from being terrified to being out of my body and feeling so much peace and love and just absolute calm. I was really like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back to her. Like, it's heavy, it's clunky, it's hard being her. Like, I was able to observe everything that I had done up until that in my life, and how it affected the people and affected myself and my family. And it was really just like a out of body experience. It wasn't like, I know some people have near death experiences. They're taken to like the gates of heaven and all these things. It wasn't like that for me, but it was the first time that I saw angels, and like true angels. And there's a difference, because there are angels that watch over us that were like saints or have existed in human form. And then there's angels that are like so much higher, like heavenly angels. They don't have a gender or even really a face. They're just these beautiful, like jellyfish light orb, but I knew they were angels, but I had never, it was like the craziest. Yeah. It was
so amazing.
So amazing. And truly, you guys, up until this point, I was an atheist. I really hate to even say that out loud. It makes my heart hurt, but I was such a non-believer. I had sort of a negative experience with religion at a younger age. And I find that's actually pretty common. Some people are just like extremists and almost turn you off because it feels exclusive and whatever. So, I was so not into this stuff at all that, I really had my like shit rocked. I was just like,
you like couldn't ignore it. It was like in your face, to where it changed the way you view life, right?
Everything in my life going forward was different. Everything was changed. Basically, these light beings that I'm seeing and connecting with, they communicated with me telepathically, which I actually have realized that when we are all just here walking around on Earth and we get like a little light bulb or a little idea or just something random comes into our mind, I often find that's someone on the other side trying to communicate with us. Like, you don't have to be an intuitive. You don't have to be a medium. You don't have to be all these things. We all have this angel team, because that's really what they said. No one ever dies alone. No one on this planet dies alone. No matter where you are, if you were physically alone, there will always be loved ones or angels or someone to guide you over to the other path. So it was a very sweet, comforting.
That's so nice. Anna Grace, you're just such a special being, and I just appreciate you. Please tell everybody where they can find you, how they can follow you, how they can continue to learn more through AG University and all the things you have going on.
Thank you so much. I always love talking with you. You just like speak my language and you make me feel so seen and heard. So I really appreciate your friendship.
I appreciate you too, girl.
Well, thank you guys for listening and for tuning in today. If you would like more information on kind of topics we touched, AG University is my podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. My website is Anna Grace Newell, at Anna Grace Newell on all platforms. If you're interested in any of my courses on learning to hone, so AG University is a school. It's a school from the cosmos, and it's a school that is here to connect you with your intuition and giving you clarity on connecting you with your soul's purpose. So any of the courses, or if you're ever interested in scheduling a reading with me, we're actually looking to bring on more readers as well. So it's going to be growing. So everyone will get some love. You can join my newsletter, and that's the link in my bio in my Instagram. then my TikTok. You can join my newsletter from my website, Anna Grace Newell. You'll find everything there. So yes.
Fantastic. Well, Anna Grace, thank you so much. We're also excited to keep watching your journey unfold. And thank you for uplifting us. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. I love you. Mwah.
Mwah. So good to see you. Take care, girl. For the full interview, just check out the Be Zen with Brit podcast.
Michael! Stop! Why are you having such a hard time with this?
Matthew, this film is based on your story, right? Will you tell us about this experience that you had and what inspired this film?
Yeah. Well, my dad died in 2016. He and I hadn't spoken for 5 years. A lot of things happened to get to that point.
Yep.
The breaking point for me was a comment he made that it could have been an innocuous little comment, but to me it was a big one when he found out that our second child was going to be a girl. He said that we had to try again for a boy so he could have a real grandchild. And I was like, well, first of all, this kid's not even here. You don't know what they're going to be like. Second of all, you have a granddaughter, and at that point you're his only grandchild, and you're saying she's not good enough. And I stopped talking to him, and then he got his third divorce, and he texted me saying, and this was 2 weeks after my oldest daughter's birthday, he texted me saying, when is Ava's birthday? My ex-wife used to take care of this stuff. Now I have to. And I never responded to him. And that was the last interaction.
What inspired you to not only tell this story, share this experience that you had? I feel like so many people go through these experiences that feel like the darker side of life, truly. And sometimes we don't share that with anyone or with very few people. So what inspired you to make a film about it?
Well, I've been trying to make a couple of movies and they hadn't worked. And it felt like it was because I was trying to make something that would be popular. And like certain things kept happening to where it's like, oh, it's not going to happen now. Now it's not going to happen. And for some reason, this was a very much a build it and they will come kind of moment. You know, not saying it's going to be a huge hit or anything, but something just told me you have to make this movie. So I did the first draft, and the first draft, the reason it's called Blue Moon is because everything you see in the movie takes place in the first half. And then the second half, we introduce another uncle character, and I'm up in his cabin and we're attacked by a werewolf. And that was the first draft. And then I was like, that I can't do that because it undercuts the seriousness of the first part. Mm-hmm. So then I rewrote it, and once it hit me, it really fell out in a few days.
Wow. And this film has been so popular. You just got back from promoting it. Tell us about the film festivals and all of the cool things that you've gotten to do because of this film.
Yeah, it's been kind of neat. We premiered it at the U-Pike Media and Arts Fest, which is a newer small fest in the area where I actually shot the movie, and it's from the college. It's a university that my mom actually went to. She has a brick on their alum walk of fame or
cool.
Yeah.
So moment.
Yeah, so I got to premiere it there, and that was just lovely. It's won a couple of awards, which has been really nice. And we just got back for like 20 minutes ago.
Literally, just got back.
Literally 20 minutes ago from New Jersey, where we were selected to play Kevin Smith's first film festival.
The film was based on a true story. And so then I was like, I think this is actually your story, and how emotionally connected. It felt very real. Yeah. And you did an amazing job as an actor. So I think it's great. I'm so happy that you ended up doing that. Yeah.
Well, thank you. It was really tough because I'm usually the one who likes to be right behind the camera. I like to shoot things, and letting Ryan, basically just have to kick me away from it and say, trust me. It was kind of tough for me at first, but like he's he's the best, Ryan. My DP is just the best. That's actually his mom who plays my mom in the movie. They shot that.
Gosh.
They shot it on Thanksgiving Day before dinner. I wasn't even there. Her house was my aunt's house, and I came over to shoot with the actress who played my aunt and our DP, Ryan. He had blacked out all the windows, and yeah, I literally couldn't have made this without him. And letting him, like, trusting him, it was tough for me, not because I didn't trust him, but because I've been doing this for so long, and I'm always the one looking through the camera, and it's so tough for me. And at one point in the movie, towards the end, with a character, when I finally kind of lose my temper, I was having trouble doing that scene because I could see the monitor, and I was like, I don't know if I like the way I'm looking here, because, you know, I'm all about in composition how lines are, and I'm a big round guy, so that messes how I see things. And I couldn't get into it. And TA, the actor in the scene, had to get incredibly personal because he could tell I wasn't in the moment with him as an actor. And we were talking, and I'm trying not to give anything away. And we were in this scene. Yeah. And we were in this scene, and he said something very personal about my mom. And it got so under my skin, I had to call a cut. I'm like, I have to step away for 5 minutes, because otherwise, like, I saw my dad at that moment.
Wow. And I would love for everyone watching this to also watch the film. It is so good, especially if you've ever experienced grief or have a complicated relationship with anyone in your life. This is going to really bring up a lot of feelings for you. And I think that's good. We should process our feelings and face them. So where can everybody go to watch this film, follow you, all those things?
Media Arts Talent on Twitter. If you go to mediaartsandtalent.com, just spell it out. You can go there to find everything, or you can go to Prime, Amazon Prime, type in Blue Moon. You'll see it. There's a tall, lanky guy in front of a church walking in black and white. It'll be on Tubi soon, and a couple other places popping up here and there. But right now, Prime. I'm not sure about Tubi. Maybe in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I've watched on Amazon Prime. It was really easy. You just rent it or buy it. Thank you so much for being here, Matthew. That was awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of ZenTV. I hope that you guys have an amazing end of the year. Take care of yourselves. Be zen. Get more joy into your life. Don't forget the skincare rituals. And I will see you guys when we come back for season 7, March 2nd. So be sure to set your DVR now, because I know we get busy. I don't want you to forget. And in the meantime, you can listen to the Be Zen with Brit podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Take care, and I will see you in the new year.